What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, if you love Bel-Air, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video, and leave your theories, comments, everything down below. Now today, we're going to be talking about Bel-Air Season 3, Episode 4. This is the recap. I'm going to try my best to focus on all the key points in this episode. If I miss anything, you guys let me know down below. And as I told you guys in my quick thoughts, early impressions, I felt like this episode was more of a toned down episode. They put more focus on like the storylines and of course character development. But I cannot wait to see what's next in episode 5 and 6. And as I told you guys, I did not know they was going to release 3 episodes. I thought it was just going to be 1 episode because this is what they've done before. But we got 3. And I believe next week we're going to get 2 to 3 episodes as well. It's kind of sad because the season will be over in a few weeks. You know what I'm saying? This is why I like when shows give us like 1 episode per week. That way we can talk about it. We can come up with different predictions and stuff. And then we can watch the episode. But hey, it is what it is. We got Power Book 2 Ghost Season 4 Part 2 returning soon. So we're going to have something to watch, man. I think this fall should be solid as far as shows, at least the first half. But let's get into it. I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's talk about it. What did we see in Bel-Air Season 3, Episode 4, titled Out All Night? Now, the episode picks up exactly where we left off. LaMarcus is headed to the hospital. We learned that he had cardiac arrest, and it's not looking too good, right? Hillary is very stressed out, but of course her family, they are there, they're supporting her, and then we learned that LaMarcus is going to be okay. They took him out of ICU, so now he's recovering, and that's a big relief, right? I mean, he could have ended up like Trevor from the original show, but it seems like they're going to go with a different route, and you know, I think that's a good thing. Now, we get to Carlton and Uncle Phil. They end up talking about how good Carlton has been doing. We know Uncle Phil is proud of him, and it's kind of funny because they did not talk about the argument that Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv had. We know Carlton, he was outside that door in the last episode, and he heard blame Carlton, right? So I'm pretty sure that's going to come up eventually about what that argument was about, and I will not be surprised if Carlton puts blame on himself and ends up relapsing or doing something stupid as the season continues to air out. Now, we get to Will and Jeffrey. Jeffrey wants to know the real deal about his son, Frederick. He feels like Will ain't telling him the full story. He wants to hear it out of Will's mouth. Of course, Will don't say too much, you know what I'm saying? He pretty much repeats what Frederick says, but Jeffrey knows what time it is. He understands that Will is not telling him the truth, and it's just a matter of time before he finds out what really happened. Now, we get back to LaMarcus, and of course he wants to know what Hillary, had to tell him. But she says, look, that's not important. We're going to focus on you. We know she ain't about to tell him nothing about that kiss with Jazz, especially after what just happened to LaMarcus. It's just not happening, right? Now, we learned that LaMarcus had like a, heart condition his whole life, and he knew nothing about it. And he's talking about how he's most likely going to have like open heart surgery or whatever. And it's very sad. Now, his dad comes in there talking about stop being all sad. Everything going to be okay. I believe he had his agent on the phone and making it seem like LaMarcus is going to be right back on that field. Like this is not that big of a deal and all that stuff. And LaMarcus, he plays right along with it. Like really? Like, dude, you need your rest. You know what I'm saying? Screw what your dad talking about. You need to get your rest, get that surgery. You have to, focus on your health. Football don't matter right now. And deep down inside, LaMarcus, he knows this. You know what I'm saying? He's just trying to play it off, trying to act like everything is good. Now, we get to Will and Carlton and, Quentin. They're talking about the business, talking about what type of profit are they making. They're going over numbers and different things like that, their strategy. We know Will, he don't know all the terms and things like that when it comes to, having a business. He still has some things to learn. Carlton, he knows these things already, right? And it seems like Will wants to do things his way and Carlton wants to do things his way. But we know Quentin did ask about, how many shirts do y'all need or whatever? Do y'all got enough inventory? Which they don't got nothing right now. Will was like, look, we got it. Carlton, he was about to be like, nah, we don't got it. Maybe we need some help. Know what I'm saying? But Will played it off. And we can tell the two did not agree on this particular topic, right? Now, Carlton, we can tell that he is tired of lying. He just wants to be honest. And he's tired of Will making all the decisions. And that seems like that's a major problem, especially since they do not have that inventory that Will told Quentin that they got. So it is what it is with that. We know eventually they're going to figure it out. Now, we get to Aunt Viv and Joanne, and they're talking about Erica and, of course, Uncle Phil. As I told you guys in my quick thoughts, early impressions, this girl, Erica, from me, or at least in my perspective, it seems like she did not tell the full truth, because all we hear in this episode was Phil kissed her. Well, what about her kissing him? Because that's exactly what happened. Now, I don't agree on how Phil handled everything, but I know your girl Erica definitely was not telling the truth. Now, we know Aunt Viv is going to agree to go out tonight with her girls to release some of that stress that she's been going through. Now, we get to Carlton and Will and Jazz, and they're asking Jazz about this Tony character. Apparently, this is where Will got these shirts from, and they're wondering if they're going to get all the shirts in time. The dude is not communicating with them at all. Jazz is telling them, don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. This guy basically never, fails or whatever. So we're going to see if that's the case, which we know he does pop up at the end of the episode. But all that's doing is making Carlton and Will have more issues. Now, Jazz decides to pop up at the hospital to support Hillary, letting her know that, he's there for her and he's just checking up on her. And he tells her the whole thing with the kiss, it was all his fault. So he's taking all the blame, even though we know Hillary was, definitely kissing back on him. Now, she tells him that he is right as far as always running away from things, and that kiss was nothing, and that's it, nothing more. All of a sudden, the girl that Jazz was with pops up at the hospital. I'm thinking, like, really? How the hell she get up there in the first place? And that's exactly what Jazz said, and Jazz probably should have never brought her anyway. Now, we get to Uncle Phil, Omar Campbell, and of course, Yolanda Porter. The people, they're all outside of this development, and they pissed off. They don't want this new project coming there. They think it's going to mess everything up. Now, Omar is telling them, like, look, I'm going to help. You know what I'm saying? I'm investing. That's not what it is. He is from there, and he understands exactly what these people are thinking, but they got it all twisted, right? Now, Uncle Phil, he has to come in and neutralize everything, letting them know with this new project, it's going to bring new jobs. It's going to help everybody else out, right? And if he never came in, man, it was looking real ugly, y'all. It was looking real ugly. Now, we know that Yolanda Porter, she's basically doing all this stuff for city council. And that's exactly what Omar Campbell told her. Like, the only reason you out here in the first place is because you trying to just make sure you get that city council position. You don't really care for the people like that for real. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to tell you right now, this whole thing is going to blow up. These people, they ain't going. Yolanda Porter, this is not the last time you're going to see her. We saw her, I believe, an episode ago when she was having a conversation with Jazz. And this is why I believe it's all going to be connected. And one of the reasons why Jazz and Uncle Phil may not see eye to eye and have some issues. Because we know in this season trailer, Jazz is telling Will that Uncle Phil only looks out for him and his clients. So we know something big is going to happen. Now, Lisa decides to pop up on Will and Carlton with the mirror. And they have decided to go on a group date to help relieve some stress or whatever, just to kick it and hang out. Now, it seems like things was going real good with the Mirror and Lisa. They was having a good time, having fun. They was beating Will and Carlton in volleyball. That's because Will and Carlton could not communicate right. They're not on good terms as of right now. It's not looking too good. And all the two really did was argue throughout the entire episode. But that one-on-one time that Amira gave Carlton and Lisa gave Will definitely helped them, release some stress. And of course, the two cousins end up making up by the end of the episode. Now, Aunt Viv is getting ready for girls' night out. Know what I'm saying? Uncle Phil, he's, trying to talk to her. He tells her, look, the thing with Erica was nothing. He's basically keep telling her the same thing, like, you have nothing to worry about. She's like, look, she's trying to have a good night with no drama at all, right? And I know Uncle Phil, he was probably kind of upset because he just wants to get over this and, work things out with Aunt Viv. But as of right now, she's trying to have a good time. Now, we get to a very emotional scene between Uncle Phil and Hillary. We know they was talking about LaMarcus, his pops, and how basically his pops just wants him to get back on that field. She's not feeling that. And we know it's very stressful, right? And we know that, Hillary and Uncle Phil are going through some similar things with, Jazz and Hillary having that kiss, with Erica kissing Uncle Phil. I mean, mistakes are going to be made, right? But he tells her, look, no matter what, if you love somebody, you keep pushing, you keep working, and eventually, things will fall through. He's there for his daughter, and, hopefully things turn out the right way for the both of them this season. But I'm going to tell you right now, Uncle Phil's dirt is out. Hillary and that kiss, oh, it's going to get out. And Hillary, she best to prepare for the aftermath. Now, we get to Viv and her girls. They out there kicking it. No more drama. They playing Mary J in the club. They in there dancing, having a good old time. And of course, she's talking about her life and how stressful it is. She's not really trying to, give Phil her energy. She's just tired of everything. They going through the phone, looking up the chef, liking all his pictures. I mean, they just kicking it for real, right? And then they was talking about pulling up on Erica. I was like, let's get it cracking. Know what I'm saying? Pull up on her. Put those hands on her. But of course, they just talking. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know they old or whatever. They ain't about to do that. But probably 15 years ago, oh, they would have got it popping. They would have definitely went and checked Erica face to face. But we can just tell that Viv, she was just trying to have a good night, release that stress, and and talk about her problems that she's going through, which eventually will have to be fixed. Now, we get to LaMarcus. This man in there trying to walk, stressed out. Look at him. The boy's sweating. I'm like, man, it ain't looking too good. Now, we know he's looking at his phone. He is seeing what the people are saying about him, basically dogging him out. So he's feeling real bad. But Hillary, she is there for him, letting him know things are going to be okay and stop, worrying about what these people are talking about. But she tells him, look, the world, they can wait. You know what I'm saying? You need to recover. Just chill out. He's like, look, he got to get back on that field, right? So he is still determined to get things, popping. He ain't playing around. Now, we get to Will and Lisa. We know the date did not go as planned as far as, being less stressful because Will and Carlton, they kept going back and forth. But we know Lisa and Will, they worked things out. She helped with that stress. And y'all know Will, he clapped those cheeks. And then we get to Amira and Carlton. And of course, we know Carlton, he's stressed out as well because all the stuff that's going on with Will and him. He's talking about that he cannot mess up and all this stuff. Amira, she understands what time it is. She knows he's stressed out. And she's like, look, you ain't go mess up. And what if it's another way that, we can get high, a different type of high, right? And all of a sudden, this girl tells him to speed up. He ain't looking at the road. And then this girl goes down on your boy. Topped him off right there on the road. Your boy Carlton, oh, he happy as hell. He having a great time, right? And as I told you guys in my quick thoughts, early impressions, I probably would have crashed the car. Ain't no way. I would have definitely had to stop or something because ain't no way I could have kept that focus. Especially going at that speed. Oh, nah. It ain't happening. But shout out to Amira. She understood the assignment. She is the MVP of the episode. She did what was needed to be done. Now, we get to your boy Carlton. He's at the house. And all of a sudden, Jeffrey pops up. They have a conversation. Y'all know Carlton, he's stress-free. He feel like, let me go ahead and just tell the truth. He tells Jeffrey that they was out there illegally street racing. And, Jeffrey, he was like, okay. And then Carlton was about to tell him about his son, Frederick. But Jeffrey tells him, don't worry about him. He's going to take care of Frederick, right? And Jeffrey does give Carlton his props for coming home on time. So he understands that Carlton is trying to do good and not mess up this time around. Now, Uncle Phil is waiting for Viv to return home. And when she does return, he wanted to have a conversation. He wants to get through this. She's like, look, I ain't trying to really be talking right now. Y'all know she just got back. She's tired. And, they can talk tomorrow. So it seems like this issue between them will continue into the next episode until they finally handle it. Now, we know Will, he felt bad at that meeting with Quentin. And he wants to make sure that he's on his P's and Q's. He's reading a book, trying to get his business knowledge up. And then Carlton pops up. Him and Will, they squash their issues or whatever. We know Carlton tells him, like, look, it takes time as far as, learning something new. You're going to get it or whatever. And it seems like things are, are cool. Now, Will does tell him he understands what Carlton wants to do or whatever. He just does not want any handouts, right? So he took that, that conversation that he had with his pops very serious. He's like, look, I don't need Uncle Phil's help or anybody else's help. We can do it by ourselves. So we're going to see how that plays out. Now, we get to Hillary and LaMarcus. She said, you know what? I understand you want to get back on the field. People think that you're down and out, but guess what? Let's take a picture. You know what I'm saying? She get the makeup and everything ready. They took a picture, making it seem like everything is good. She just wants to put out that good, positive energy, letting the people know that everything is going to be okay. And I believe this helped with LaMarcus as far as his mood. And you can tell that he was happy and, he was in a better space once Hillary did this. Now, finally, the inventory has came through. This Tony character pops up with all these shirts. Will is like, man, you know what I'm saying? I guess he did show up just on time. Now, apparently they have ordered like a bulk order or whatever, so they got way more shirts. I believe they said they had like over 1,000 shirts, so now they have to figure out a way to sell all this inventory. But hey, it is what it is. At least y'all got y'all product. Now it's time to go out there and put in that work. On top of that, that Tony character told them that the payment is due in 7 days, so they got a little bit more pressure on them to put in that work. Now, at the end of the episode, we see your boy Jeffrey. He waited until Frederick went into the shower. He goes into the room, searching through all his stuff, and then he finds the burner phone, right? And he sees that somebody's been calling him, all these missed calls. So now he understands that his son has not been telling him the full truth of, what's really going on. And I believe Jeffrey's going to play this smart. I hope he plays this smart and does not be too aggressive. That way he can find out exactly what Frederick is up to. As I told you guys, he cannot be trusted. I got a feeling he got some ties to Jeffrey's old gang, and Jeffrey needs to watch all of his moves. But it's a good thing that Jeffrey understands that his son is up to something. That way he can keep his eyes on him. Hopefully this Frederick character does not get Will or Carlton in any type of trouble. We know he's a hothead. He thinks he can do whatever, and he thinks he's running things, right? But I'm going to tell you right now, I cannot wait until Jeffrey finally confronts him. I want to see the look on his face. I want to see if he's going to act all big and bad, like no one can really touch him or whatever. Well, we're going to find out soon enough. As I told you guys, I'm going to do the episode 5 and episode 6 recap later on or whatever. Probably not today, but I'm going to watch episode 5 and hopefully we can get that quick thoughts video out there to you guys first, and then I will drop the recap later on. But I want to thank you guys once again for all the love, all the support, and I'll catch you on the next one. But let me get up on out of here, man. It's your boy Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.